So discussions surrounding Last of Us Part 2 continue to rage on. There's still a lot of contention surrounding aspects of the game's plot, the fates of certain characters, etc. Again, I have not seen the leaks. I'm avoiding spoilers, and I'm trying to play the game from beginning to end and then judge it properly. So I cannot speak to that effect, except that most people really seem to hate it. At least a lot of people who have seen the leaks just flat out really don't like what Naughty Dog has done with the story. That's all I can say there. But one aspect to all this that I am disturbed by is reports out there that Sony and Naughty Dog, Sony in particular, are probably more responsible for copywriting, but they are essentially taking down videos that are discussing The Last of Us 2 leaks. And while I cannot say much about the story of Last of Us 2, people are allowed to say what they want to say about the game, and the fact that there are reports out there that Sony's trying to shut down discussion is something that I absolutely do not approve. So here's a report from reclaimthenet.org that sort of highlights some of the tweets and reports relayed by multiple people who stream or post videos on YouTube. So here's Jeremy Prime, who said, "I'm not doing anything until I talk to my lawyer about this in the morning. I showed no images, I gave no specifics about The Last of Us Part 2, yet my stream was taken down and I was issued a copyright strike on a clean channel. Tag people that you think can highlight this story." So it's one thing if you do show either images or footage of the game. Those are assets that belong to Naughty Dog, and they are in the legal right to copyright strike if you put that up there on your video. But this individual showed nothing and actually didn't even discuss anything specific about Last of Us Part 2 spoilers. That being taken down is certainly not acceptable. Whether Naughty Dog likes it or not, the leaks are out there. That information is public knowledge, and people discussing that is not infringing on copyright. That is just people talking about information they saw out there on the internet. This is just a bad look all around, and it's being perceived as Sony and Naughty Dog trying to censor criticism, trying to kind of shut down anyone who bashes the game in video or live stream format. Here's an additional quote from Jeremy where he said, "I discussed, meaning I used my words and my opinions to talk about what is happening with The Last of Us 2 with Naughty Dog and how they're abusing the copyright system, and then my video gets a copyright strike because of opinions, because I shared no footage, no images, and I did not even talk about any of the specific details of the leaks." That's what Jeremy had to say in this video that he uploaded recently, and there are screenshots here of the copyright takedown. And then scrolling further down, you'll find other people like Storm Yorha, who said, "Do not mention redacted leaks," I think referring to Last of Us 2. "If your tweet gets traction, regardless if you post footage or not, Sony will literally file a DMCA takedown on your account. Same goes for YouTube or any network." The key point here being regardless of if you post footage or not. It's one thing, again, to post footage. That's going to get taken down, obviously. But if somebody's just talking about the details based on information they saw out there, based on footage they saw out there, and given that these people didn't sign any NDAs, yeah, this is not legally correct and certainly not morally correct in my opinion. Here we have another article from Bounding Into Comics that also highlighted a number of other people who received similar copyright strike treatments. Now this individual right here, Ryan Kindle, did note that so for clarification, the GWG video was a copyright strike. The one on my channel was a copyright takedown, all for showing images and talking about leaks that are all over the internet. Now he does say here in this case he did show images. That is a different story versus just talking about it. Now it'll be interesting to see what happens to this video of Angry Joe in which he discusses the spoilers. He saw them and he's not going to show images or footage, but he does talk about them. It'll be interesting to see if Sony comes down on his channel on this particular video if he gets copyright struck. One of the purposes of Angry Joe uploading this video, aside from the fact that he does have a right to say what he wants to say about The Last of Us 2 spoilers as long as he's not showing images or videos, is to test out and see if this copyright abuse will happen to him as well, whether he will also get flagged or copyright struck because he talked about spoilers even if not showing any footage or images. So that remains to be seen. But the fact of the matter is that, look, I have my approach of not really making assumptions about a game until I play it in its entirety. It's one thing to report on other people's experiences. It's another thing for me to say, here's my take without playing the game. So that's the approach I'm taking, but that's not everyone else's approach. Plenty of other people just flat out don't care about leaks and spoilers, will look at the stuff out there and discuss them. And you know, we recently learned that it was actually a security vulnerability that allowed hackers to gain access to Naughty Dog servers via an exploit from some of their older games, and that's what allowed the leaks to happen. That's on Naughty Dog. It's not the people who are talking about the leaks' fault. And so for them to come down so hard on people who are not showing images or footage, that's something that I absolutely cannot get behind, and it is something that is going to tarnish Naughty Dog's reputation. There's already plenty of backlash due to the way they handled the story and the characters based on what people are saying. This is not going to help matters, and I don't know what they think they can do by issuing these copyright strikes. Do they think that the footage, the leaks won't be disseminated? Like, that information's already out there. There is no point in attracting further negative optics by striking down people who are not showing actual Last of Us 2 assets. Now, in my experience, I have not been copyright struck in any way, and I don't know if that's because I'm not actually discussing spoilers, because I've been avoiding them so that I can play the game from beginning to end before judging it. I'm not sure what their criteria really is, but regardless of what it might be, the fact of the matter is that they seem to be going too far based on all of these reports. And the sad part is that this wouldn't be the first time that a game company would go out of their way to shut down content that doesn't actually violate any copyright laws. It's just them trying to kind of put pressure on creators and trying to threaten their livelihoods, because 3 copyright strikes on YouTube will delete your channel. It'll be permanently banned, and that will obviously have a huge adverse effect on the livelihoods of those creators. They're literally threatening livelihoods by doing this. And so if they want to issue a copyright strike, they better be sure that they're doing it for the right reasons. And at the very least, for certain people like Jeremy Prime, who again showed no images and gave no specifics about Last of Us 2, yeah, this is pretty messed up stuff. And hopefully this is something that will be further explored, and we'll see how the Angry Joe video pans out, and hopefully this will be something that is called out. So yeah, Naughty Dog, if this is something you're engaging in, or Sony, or both, recognize that this is a situation that is out of your control now, and people who will want spoilers will go and find those spoilers. They'll watch that footage and they'll have the opinion that they want to have, and that's within their right. And then there will be people who will anticipate your game and actually play it from beginning to end and give it a chance before giving their opinions. That's the two sides of the fence that you'll see, and that's the situation, regardless of whether you like it or not. I'm not saying it doesn't suck that this happened. All I'm saying is this is the situation, and you got to deal with it, but not like this. And it's also worth noting that at the end of the day, if you engage in this manner, you're only being counterproductive to your cause. You're trying to kind of simmer down the leaks. You're trying to quiet the leaks, but you've actually just made them louder. You're just making people engage in further outcry that's going to lead to more attention being garnered for the leaks. It's going to lead to more people wanting to seek out the leaks, or it's going to lead to people wanting to rebel in some way. It's just going to lead to more backlash. This is always the case with any form of trying to silence people. It just leads to a louder voice. It leads people going from talking at a normal volume to screaming. You know, it just, like, it's such a dumb thing to do if your goal is to try to weather the storm out. Like before, Naughty Dog had the backlash surrounding the plot and the narrative surrounding the leaks to deal with. Now they have this narrative of, oh, Naughty Dog is trying to shut people up. They're trying to censor people who only discuss leaks. They have that narrative to deal with now. And this is just something that Sony and Naughty Dog kind of put on themselves by engaging in this manner. And it's never proven to be effective. Trying to silence creators on YouTube for the wrong reasons, like, that's never been a thing that's panned out well for the perpetrator. So that's my take, ladies and gentlemen. I think Sony and Naughty Dog are shooting themselves in the foot by taking this incredibly aggressive approach, kind of going scorched earth with people who are discussing spoilers, and it's just a worse look for them, and it's not going to mitigate the situation any. It really isn't. Like, just because they copyright these videos, do they think there's going to be less spoilers all of a sudden on the internet? Like, this is the internet. What do you think is going to happen? So that's my take. Drop a comment below with your thoughts and opinions on the situation. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.